It would have been a whole different story, and we probably wouldn't be talking about Jesus if he got his lawyers and he was like, I'm fighting Pontius Pilate, and I'm going to make sure that all the apostles fight, and then we all get up and we gather and we fight against this horrible situation. That would have went down in history as a blip on the screen, and it would have been like, oh, there's a whole bunch of people trying to scream and defend for their rights. Makes you think about your life. Makes you think about what's real. Okay, friends. So today we are going to look at one of, I would say, one of the most valuable principles that you will learn in A Course in Miracles. It is one of the, when you get this and you start to apply it in your life, I guarantee you, your whole life begins to change. I can guarantee that because I've seen it a million times, and I see it with myself over and over. And even though I've been doing this work a long time, I definitely have my spiritual awakening experiences as it continues. Let me just say spiritual awakening isn't like, whoa, you wake up. It's a gradual process, and then there's big leaps, right? So this principle today is one of the most important, and I talk about it often. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of the course, and I'm going to teach it to you. So if you have your Course in Miracles with you, you can turn to lesson 153. Lesson 153. Okay, I'll wait for you to do that. And while you're doing that, if you have your course, if you don't, that's okay. I want to talk about two things. Resistance and resonance. Resistance and resonance. Some of what we're going to say today, you've already learned, you already know, but I'm going to challenge you, and some of you might not. That's okay. I'm going to challenge you to take this at a deeper level. I'm going to challenge you to really understand this in a way that you might never have before. Okay? So, resonance and resistance. This is what's going on in duality. The Course in Miracles will call it the illusion, right? The illusion, the projected world is an illusion. It's not the truth. It's a set of a whole bunch of beliefs and feelings and experiences that you have had personally, you've had culturally, you've had familially, and you've projected them onto the screen of the world. In that illusion, it's not real. It's just your interpretation because of your past, because of your beliefs. In that illusion, there is duality. And in duality, there is resistance and there is resonance, right? So that's duality. There's good, there's bad. There's yin, there's yang, right? Now, if we are interested in beginning to wake up from that duality, because duality is suffering. I will tell you right off, duality is suffering. You all get it. I'm either thin or I'm fat. I'm a success or I'm a failure. I either get it or I don't. That is all leads to suffering. Capiche? So all that leads to suffering. And so resistance is defensiveness. When you defend, you're in resistance. For example, you may be saying to yourself, I'm not spiritually awake yet. Something's wrong with me. Well, maybe not even something's wrong with me. I need to get to be spiritually awake. I mean, it makes sense with everyone that follows me. You may be saying that. I need to get there. I need to get there. I need to get there is resistance, is defense. It's defensiveness of what's happening. Take a deep breath. So there's defensiveness and there's defenselessness. Defenselessness is resonant. You let go. You go, I am where I need to be. I'm exactly who I am. I'm exactly connected to source, to love, to grace right now, right here. I don't have to defend anything, right? So that's the baseline of what this lesson is about, lesson 153. And it's called, In My Defenselessness, My Safety Lies. Let's read a little bit of this. And I'm going to tell you, I would really recommend you get your book out and you really read this. In my immersion program, where I work privately with people, we spend weeks and weeks on this lesson. So let's just look at it, okay? All right, so take a deep breath. All right. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. I'm going to read the very first paragraph and just let it sit with you for a second. You who feel threatened by this changing world, its twists of fortune and its bitter jests, its brief relationships and all the gifts it merely lends to take away again, attend this lesson well. The world provides no safety. It is rooted in attack, and all its gifts of seeming safety are illusory deceptions. It attacks, then attacks again. No peace of mind is possible where danger threatens thus. The world provides no safety. So as soon as you try to find safety in the world, you're off track. There is no safety in this world because you're either winning or you're losing. You're living, you're dead, right? And you have to look at that. And you have to see, when you're looking for safety in this world, you are in resistance. You are in defensiveness. You are trying to get something somewhere where it's impossible to get. Take a deep breath. Once again, we're on lesson 153. So, it's important that we understand this, because if we don't start to understand this, you will never have a life of flow. You will never have a conscious life of flow. You will never have a feeling of relief, right? I'm going to go on. Our projection on the world is an illusion. That's exactly right. I'm going to go on to paragraph 4 here. Defenses are the costliest of all the prices which the ego would exact. Defenses are the costliest of all prices that the ego would exact. Think about what you defend against. You defend against people that you think should be different. You defend against yourself when you're not what you're supposed to be. You defend against to make sure that your body doesn't die. There's nothing wrong with any of this, but know that there is a cost. This is why he's saying this defenses are the costliest of all the prices, right? So we have to look at how the ego has set up. And the ego is set up to make sure you are never happy. You are never completely at peace, because you're going to find something to be like, well, they should be different, or that should be different, or I should be different, or if I was only better in my past, or if I had a different upbringing, or if my mother wasn't an alcoholic, or this didn't happen. All of these things are defenses, and they have a very high cost on your peace. A very high cost on your peace. Take a deep breath. I'm going to read a little bit more. Defenses are the costliest of all prices which the ego would exact. In them lies madness in a form so grim that hope of sanity seems but to be an idle dream beyond the possible. So it's so dark when you're defending. And I don't care if it's defending anything. It doesn't matter. And the Course would say this too. It doesn't matter what you're defending, how big or how small. It could be defending and attacking. Defense comes in the form of attack, remember? The person that cut you off on the freeway. It could be defending or attacking someone that looked at you the wrong way while you were at the store. Defending and attacking could be as big as having a huge tragedy and saying it shouldn't have happened. So it doesn't matter how big or small. It's still defending. It's still judging. It's still resisting. And if you ask yourself very clearly, if you've lived in resistance, your answer is going to usually be yes. That's okay. Don't worry about it. That's okay. Remember, the Course is just trying to help us to identify all the blocks to the presence of love in our life. So when we see all the blocks, we can start to go, oh gosh, that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. What's beautiful about A Course in Miracles is it talks about everything through principle, but nothing in specific, because every specific thing on some level has the principles in it. Does that make sense? So you can apply this to any and everything. Big, small, whatever, right? Okay. So he goes on to explain, really read lesson 153, read it. He goes on to explain a lot of this stuff. Defensiveness is weakness. Defensiveness is weakness. It proclaims that you have denied Christ and come to fear his Father's anger. Defensiveness is weakness. There's no doubt about it. Think about this. And then I'm going to read a little more. I use this example a lot, but I'm going to use it here again. If Jesus would have, when Pontius Pilate and he was being put to trial for everything that he did, I'm just using Jesus as an example because this is, of course, miracles. It could be anything. If Jesus, when he got convicted and was going to be crucified, if he would have defended himself and said, no, I know I am the Son of God, and I am going to get a lawyer, and I'm going to take you to court, and I'm going to fight this to the death. Or sue. If you think about that, it's almost comical, because it's the complete opposite of what Jesus is trying to teach you and teach us. Was in his defenselessness, his safety lied. Instead, what did he say? Turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek. It would have been a whole different story, and we probably wouldn't be talking about Jesus if he got his lawyers and he was like, I'm fighting Pontius Pilate, and I'm going to make sure that all the apostles fight, and then we all get up and we gather and we fight against this horrible situation. That would have went down in history as a blip on the screen, and it would have been like, oh, there's a whole bunch of people trying to scream and defend for their rights. Makes you think about your life. Makes you think about what's real. Defenselessness is weakness. It proclaims you have denied the Christ and come to fear his Father's anger. When you are in complete resonance, there's nothing to defend. Shakespeare says, "Thou doth protest too much. Thou doth protest too much." What does that mean? As soon as you see somebody railing and pushing and saying, "I'm right and I have it, I have the answer, and this is what it's going to be," you immediately, your internal guidance system, if you're connected with it, with your connection with God, you go, something's going on. You can feel it. You can feel it. And when you do that, it's the same thing. You're like, I'm supposed to be thinner. I'm supposed to be healthier. I'm supposed to be more successful. Something's wrong with me. Blah, 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 blah. It's the same thing. You will see it in people, but do you see it in yourself? Take a deep breath. True power does not need to be defended. This is completely opposite of what the world's going to teach you. But this is the spiritual path. This isn't the illusory path. This is the spiritual path. This is the seeing, the more I defend, the worse it gets. And you stay in that rat race. You stay in that rat race. Stay in that rat race. So this idea about denying Christ and coming to fear his Father's anger, first of all, God's source love is not angry. We have, what have we done? Projected our anger, and we personified God. That's all it's doing. That's what the ego is doing. It's very important, but we won't talk about that right now. So, this is where we're going to wrap up. Be still a moment, and in silence, think how holy is your purpose, how secure you rest, untouchable within its light. God's ministers have chosen that the truth be with them. Who is holier than they? Who could be sure that his happiness is fully guaranteed? And who could be more mightily protected? What defense could possibly be needed by the ones who are among the chosen ones of God, by his election and their own as well? Can I get an amen in here? If you're new to A Course in Miracles, this might sound really traditional Christian. I get that. And that's okay. When you're not Christian, that's okay. When he says, I have to go back, who are among the chosen ones of God? Now, that sounds very separating, and these people are better and those people. This is not what this is saying. You have to understand this. The teachers of God are those who choose to be. It means the people that are studying this or studying or anything. It doesn't have to be A Course in Miracles, that are aware that there's a game going on here, and we're going to rise above the duality of the game. We're going to see the truth. You choose God, God chooses you. It means a conscious choice to be connected with love. That's it. Don't make it any more separating than that. That's okay. Don't make it any more, because it's not. That's not what it is. So there's no need to defend. This is important. There's no need to defend. Think about it like this. When you defend, I just thought of this. This is a good one. Defending equals depression. Defending equals stuckness. Defending equals superiority or inferiority, whatever it is. Defending equals staying in the illusion, not waking up, staying in the dream. We want to, on some level, start to wake up and see that this is all a game, that this is all a dream. All right. There's more to this, but we definitely don't have time to do it. But I hope that that something has come up for you listening to these few lines in my defenselessness, my safety.